coming up on every single muscle.
What is that? Why would it say that? What does that mean?
Just look at this display shelf. It's got everything I collect in one place. There's muscle, there are battle beasts, army ants, even rock lords and battle trolls, Z-Bots, mini Zs, on card, looking beautiful and minty, and you don't see this stuff very often. And so I had the guy open up the cabinet and he showed me the price tag. What's up, internet? You don't know me, but you might know me as Every Single Muscle because I've been posting video shorts here on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram highlighting Every Single Muscle, the greatest toy line of all time. And if you disagree, you can leave a comment or something below. And if that's not exciting enough, I'm talking battle beasts now too. Fact of the matter is, I love vintage action figures from the 80s and 90s and a little before and a little after. And I want to share my love with the world. So I'm going to be deep diving on those toys, but also Food Fighters, Bone Brigade, Socket Poppers, Monster in My Pocket, Battle Trolls, Savage Mondo Blitzers, you name it, I'm going to dig into it. Just an assortment of the weird shit. And I want you to come along for the ride. But first, this weekend, the missus and I went on a little road trip to Phoenix, Arizona, and I managed to squeeze in 3 different vintage toy hunts. The first of which was at Arizona's biggest antique shop, the Brass Armadillo. And let me tell you, this place is huge. The footage I got just does not do it justice. It's just rows and rows and rooms full of all kinds of stuff. Wrenches and bottles and old antiques and old wooden cheetah masks, but also some vintage toys.
What is that? Why would it say that? To depart from precedence tortoise. What does that mean? I don't think I need this, but I do think I need to share this with the world.
Come on. I mean, come on.
Billy Blastoff 1969 Space Toy Collection. I don't know what this is. It's a real vintage toy that I've never seen or heard of before. $150 for like a lot of it. Seems like a good deal, but like I don't know who collects this anymore. Oh my god, look at her. Who's that?
Gloria Estefan?
Gloria Estefan. That's the Gloria Estefan Barbie doll. What are we talking about here?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think I got a little overexcited at the idea of toy hunting because everything I ended up buying at this antique wonderland were all gut reaction impulse purchases. Just pure plastic crack addiction on full display. For example,
I'm getting this gargoyle right here for sure. For $5, I want that.
and then there's also this moment.
I don't know what is this blue guy right here? What is that?
The girl with the keys.
What is that, dude? Xena Warrior Princess? You damn right I'm getting that.
And I also walked away with these little pirate guys too. Don't ask me why. Just don't ask. So yeah, needless to say, I started off my Arizona toy hunt kinda all over the place. I needed to turn things around. I needed to find a spot where I'd be guaranteed to find the good stuff. Enter Triforce Collectibles.
What have we here? This is my section.
Just look at this display shelf. It's got everything I collect in one place. There's muscle, there are battle beasts, army ants, even rock lords and battle trolls. I was in toy heaven, but I've already got a lot of these. Every single muscle, every single battle beast, and a good majority of the army ants. What I don't have, though, are weapons for those beasts and ants.
So generally, I just want to know what the beasts cost with the weapons, because I'm looking for weapons here, so I'm just kind of going to peek underneath them. So you guys don't have any loose weapons, do you?
No.
No.
Not for battle beasts.
No, okay. Then I want to look at these two. Man, I think I could justify $10 on these. I want to, but I'm good.
But to actually make the purchase, it's got to math out right. And unfortunately, that didn't happen today. The battle beasts were just too pricey. And the ants, maybe I'm wrong about the ants. Maybe an ant with its butt on and a weapon is worth $10 a piece. The weapons sure aren't easy to come by. Did I screw up? Because I think I might have screwed up. You fucked up! You fucked up! You fucked up! Now, all that said, I didn't walk out of there empty-handed, because in that bin of muscle figures were these two guys. This is a Dino space alien, or Dino space creature. These guys were originally available in the late 70s and early 80s, and they even popped up in McDonald's Happy Meals.
From the farthest, darkest depths of the galaxy, the Monsternauts have landed. The Monsternauts, now showing at McDonald's. Collect and conquer all 8.
Now, the Dino space creatures were based on classic movie monsters and other creatures from pop culture at the time. This guy in particular is based on the Man-Bat from Batman comics. As you can see, I've got 6 out of the 8 sculpts here in my collection, so I'm still on the hunt for the other 2, and I might be looking to replace this guy who's got some, we'll just say, imperfections. Hey everyone, if you don't already, why not subscribe to the channel? We're talking every single muscle, we're talking every single battle beast, and we're talking every cool, weird little vintage rubber dude along the way. If you like vintage toys and action figures, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell thingy. What are you waiting for? Now let's move on to this dude right here. At first glance, he may just seem like your average run-of-the-mill muscle figure, but in actuality, he's a bit more. This is a kit-bashed bootleg muscle, and he's part of a series of kit-bashed bootleg muscles that were readily available throughout the late 80s and into the 90s in party favor packages, and sometimes even in vending machines. Now, what exactly does kit bash mean? Well, it means that they took parts of one guy and parts of another guy and bashed them together to create a whole new figure. Basically, it's a Frankenstein amalgam of 2 different muscle figures, namely these 2 right here. So as you can see, he's got the head of the ninja, but the body of this Rikishi Man figure. And here he is with some of his Frankenstein friends. So I turned my luck around, but I wasn't done yet, because I wanted vintage toy redemption. So the next day, we hit up the other Brass Armadillo. And this place is also massive, with stuff hidden around every corner. And I was determined to find the gold. And let me tell you something, I did, baby. The first thing I spotted was this right here. Z-Bot's Mini Z's on card, looking beautiful and minty, and I was so excited. You don't see this stuff very often. And so I had the guy open up the cabinet, and he showed me the price tag.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think so, but they're so cool, aren't they? You can see it. You know.
It was $70. A little too rich for my blood. Oh well, onward and upward. More stuff to find.
Oh, and look at this. It's another Xena. Xena 2. It is interesting to run into a second alternate Xena figure in just 2 days. And shockingly, yet another Xena figure has popped up. How does this keep happening? This is crazy. Yep, there it is. It's another Xena. Xena number 3. Or 4? How many Xenas did I see now? No idea.
And that's when I spotted them. Tucked away in the bottom of one of those cabinets was a huge bin of muscle. Now, confession time. When I was doing my every single muscle post on this figure, number 49, Black Shadow, I was doing it with a bootleg figure. As it turns out, he's just a very convincing bootleg. And the only thing that tipped me off was the fact that he was a slightly different shade than the other muscles I was holding, and I noticed he was a little bit glossier. You can barely even tell the difference between the two of them on camera here, but this guy is definitely got a little bit of a lighter color, a little bit of a sheen, and his logo in the back is just slightly harder to make out because it's just not perfect. But hey, problem solved. I've now got this guy, and I grabbed an extra turtle too, because why not? Honestly, with that, I felt like I was satisfied, and I was happy, and I'd seen all my favorite things, and I grabbed a few prize selections, but I wasn't going to leave without scouring every inch of this place, and I'm glad I did, because I soon found this.
I found some more toys, but they're mostly modern stuff, not a ton of vintage. Which means it's not really my bag, but this vintage bag of plastic dudes is calling to me, especially this guy right here. So I think I'm going to have to grab this. And then just after I switched my camera off, I found this Chuck E. Cheese figure. Not really my thing, but I know a lot of people like these. Is that a good deal? Let me know in the comments if you like this. You think I should have bought this for $5. I don't know, maybe that's a good deal?
These little plastic dudes were made by PPC in the late 70s and early 80s. Now known as Timmy Toys, they continue to crank out more and more of these plastic weirdos to this day. And here's a fun fact. They were actually repurposed from an existing line of Marvel figures that used Dr. Doom, Human Torch, the Incredible Hulk, and a few others, and they've turned those guys into nondescript characters that aren't exactly Marvel. So this guy here was based on the Incredible Hulk, and now he's kind of a generic caveman. These guys do have some broken parts, their weapons are missing on the ends there, but man, when you see something like this at such a great discount, some old vintagey thing, I can hardly resist. So that's it. That's what I walked away with. I understand it's a weird, oddball selection of things. It's not your typical collection of vintage toys, but that's kind of where I like to play around. In truth, my heart lies in the obscure and the odd and the little rubbery goodness, and in the ability to kind of find a good bargain on those things. And in that way, I feel like I really succeeded on this trip and walked away with a perfect selection of oddball stuff. And if you like that stuff too, stick around, because we're going to be doing a whole lot more of it. And more importantly, we're going to be talking every single muscle.